Okay, sorry I couldn't be with you guys today, but I know you're gonna get a lot out of this video. So it says, label the b value and the m value of each equation. Explain what each value means for your graph. So I can see my m value is right there. So m is equal to -4, and there is my b value. Because I know that linear equations always take the form y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. So what this means is that it will be going up 4 over 1. It's actually down 4 because of the minus. And over here, I can see that my m value is equal to 1/3, which means that it will be going up 1 over 3. My y-intercept is -1. So it's going to cross at 0, -1. And this one is b equals 2. Y-intercept is 0, 2. So this one has negative slope, so it's decreasing. And this one has a positive slope, so it's increasing. So those are some of the things you might have written about for problem of the day. So today we are going to create a table, graph, and or equation giving any one of these 3 items. So we're going to do problem of the day, which we did. We're going to have a mini lesson. We're going to do self-check, independent work, and then close. So for announcements, the next formative assessment is Tuesday, April 24th. It's going to cover everything that we've been working on with graphing linear equations. It's going to be worth 10 points. Your independent work is due on Friday. You must have your part questions done in order to receive full credit. And then there are additional assignments available as needed. Okay, so this is kind of where we started out before, where I was given the table, and then from there I'm going to create the graph and the equation. So I know that I have the point -2, 2. I have the point -1, 3. I have the point 0, 4, 1, 5, and 2, 6. So I'm going to create my graph. And remember that when I create my graph, I have to extend my line. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with a ruler and the video, but I'm going to try. Yeah. So I have to extend my line past the points because the line does go on forever. And to show that, I also am going to put arrows on both ends. So there's my line. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the equation. And there's a lot of ways that I could do that. But I know that if it's y equals mx plus b, where b is my y-intercept, and I know what my y-intercept is here, it's 4. So my equation is going to be y equals some number x plus 4. And I can see that it's a positive slope, so it's going to be a positive m value. And I can also count. I can see that I'm going up here, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So my slope is just going to be 1. Y equals 1x plus 4, y equals x plus 4. And if I plug my values from my table into my equation, it should work. So let's try 2. So if x is 2, will I get 6? So yes, that works. All right, so what I have now is my table, my graph, and my equation. They're all matching. So now I've been given a graph. So from the graph, I want to create the table and the equation. So I'm going to start by filling out my table based on the graph that I have here. So I can see that my y-intercept is right there. So I have the point 0, -1. Okay, what other points do I have? Well, I have this point right here. That's the point 2, 6. And And what other points do I have? To make sure my points are really precise. So there's this point here, which is -1, 4. And there's also this point here, which is the point 1, 2. I got a little out of order here, so that's not really helping me. Okay, and here's this point, which is the point -2, 7. Okay, and what you could kind of see me doing there was I was kind of counting out what was going on, because I could see that a pattern was starting to form. So I know my equation, y equals mx plus b. I know what my b value is. It's right there, so it's going to be mx minus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and count my rise over run. So I can see again that this line is going up, which means that my slope is going to be positive. So I see that I go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1 in between each point. Up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So I think my equation is y equals 3x minus 1. But I need to check that out. Okay, so I can see when I went to check, I could see that y equals 3 times 2 minus 1 equals 6 minus 1 equals 5. So I can see actually that's correct. My equation is correct. This is actually 5, so I just made a little mistake here, so I need to go back and fix that. So that happens. You want to use the graph and the table and the equation to make sure that everything is working. So let me double check this. -2 and, oh, this should be a -7. Yeah, so I really wasn't being careful. I wasn't labeling everything. But as I'm going back through now, I can see that I have all the details that I need. I'm gonna check one more point. So if my equation is supposed to be y equals 3x minus 1, let's try 1. So what I get is y equals 3 minus 1. Y equals 2. So my equation is right. Just when I was making the table, I didn't do a good job of attending to all of my details, but when I went back and checked everything, I was able to fix that. And now my table, my equation, and my graph all make sense. So these two are pretty similar. Like whether you have the table or the graph, you have the values to help you write the equation, so those are similar. So what's more challenging, I guess, is when I have the equation and I need to create values. So if I have y equals -2/3 x minus 2, I'm going to start with that b value. I see that it's -2 right here. 0, -2. Make sure I have the right signs now. Okay, so if it's down 2 and over 3, this is going to be a negative line, so it's going to be going that way. So I'm going to be counting down 2 and over 1, 2, 3. Down 2 and over 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what are the points that I came up with here? So this is the point 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the point 3, -4. I'm thinking this is probably going to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the point 6. -6. Okay, now I can see exactly what's happening here. Okay, these are going down by 2 and these are going up by 3. So that means this is going to be -3 and -6. And that means that this is going to be 0 and this is going to be 2. Okay, and that makes sense because our change in y is 2 and our change in x is 3. So the change in the table should match the change in the slope. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and count up 2 and over 1, 2, 3. Yep, that matches. That's the point -3, 0. That's exactly what I said would happen. And then I'm going to count up 1, 2 and over 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm counting up here because I'm moving backwards. I know if I were to read the graph left to right, I would be going down 2 and over 3. So the last thing I would need to do would be to connect that line and make sure that I draw my arrows. All right, so you guys can go ahead and try the self-check now. I hope that was helpful to you. Remember that all of these are also posted on our YouTube page and you can watch them anytime you want. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.